It finally happened. Liberal cities across America are so bankrupt after accepting more individuals into their systems that take rather than give, they can no longer keep their homeless shelters open. Chicago is the third largest city in America. They have 2.5 million people legally living there. That's more than most countries, and they are collecting such few tax dollars they can't keep 28 shelters open. 28 shelters are holding 13,000 people, and they're about to shut them down because they can't convert any more taxes. Could you imagine waking up next month with 4 migrants on your doorstep, in your yard, and you call 911 and say, hey, I'm being trespassed on. And they say, well, hey, we've had 20 calls in the last 5 minutes with the same exact problem. Lock your door and don't provoke them. In case you're new around here, I'm about to do a news speed run. I'll take a couple of stories of the day. I'll compile the details down in the cliff notes. And if you want more, down in the description box will be links to where I found my articles. Having said that, you're going to notice that I'm going to keep saying the word migrant throughout this entire video because yesterday I had a video about Massachusetts with the same problem, and because I used another term other than migrant, YouTube deleted it in about an hour. Migrants in Chicago are on edge as evictions from temporary shelters loom. More than 13,000 migrants, like whatever that name is, are under pressure to find homes and work because they are mass evicted from city-operated shelters to conserve the budget and make room for newcomers. But in the interviews last week with more than a dozen migrants, many of those who spoke to NBC News expressed fear that they wouldn't be able to make the deadline, especially because it's nearly impossible for the newest arrivals to get rental assistance and quick access to work permits. So you are allowed to be in Chicago without a green card, you just have to have a work permit. Where are they going to go? As of Thursday, more than 13,200 migrants are living in 28 shelters run across by the city and state, according to the city census. Of the new arrivals, most of them arriving since June 2023 because of that motherfucking man down in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Chicago, along with New York City and Denver, have struggled to keep up with their demands for housing and social services brought on by the influx. And in response, Chicago's mayor, this deadly little bitch, put a 60-day hold cap on how long people can stay in their operated migrant shelters. These are 28 shelters specifically for special kinds of migrants, and they can't keep it going. It's just not sustainable. About 7,000 people, roughly half of the migrants in shelters, do not have access to renter insurance because they arrived after the state cut the program. Why are you making programs like this? Well, hey, it's going to be fun to watch this when, next November everybody's going to be voting and the number one issue is going to be migration. Johnson has said that Chicago spends about roughly $1.9 million a day to provide just shelter for people. And when you stop giving these people shelter, they're just going to be running your streets, and you're not going to do shit about it but blame Republicans for not crying like you are. This has been Joshua Schrock. I hope you subscribe. Thank you for your time.